Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about the determination of least cost combination of inputs done by Deepa Darshini.E, Mathanraj.S and Sanjay.S.P. So first let us see what is least cost combination. A rational film would combine the various factors of production, its production function in such a way that with the minimum input, maximum output is obtained at the minimum cost. So what do you mean by least cost combination? It is nothing but the usage of minimum input at a minimum cost to give a maximum output is called as a least cost combination. So such a combination is referred to as the least cost combination. Assumptions of the least cost combinations. So there are two factors of production. One is labor and next is the capital. All units of labor and capital are homogeneous. The price of units of labor and capital are given and constant. The firm aims at profit maximization. So these are the assumptions of least cost combinations. Next, the least cost combination may be stated. So the following gives the way in which the least cost combination may be stated. So the marginal productivity of labor divided by the price of labor is equal to the marginal product of capital divided by the price of capital. The marginal productivity of labor can be denoted as MPL and the price of labor can be denoted as PL. Marginal product of capital can be marginal productivity of capital may be denoted as MPC and then price of capital may be denoted as PC. Principles of least cost combinations. There are two principles that are involved in the least cost combinations. They are the marginal rate of substitution MRS and the price ratio PR. The marginal rate of substitution can be written as number of unit of replaced resource divided by the number of unit of added resource. Now the price ratio. Cost per unit of added resource divided by the cost per unit of replaced resource. It can also be written as price of x1 divided by the price of x2. The least cost combination occurs at the tangency between isocont and isocost curves. So the tangency between the isocont and the isocurve gives you the least cost combinations. The following diagram represents what is an isocost curve and isocont curve diagrams. Now let us see what is isocont curve. An isocont shows all the combination of factors that produce a certain output. The following graph shows you the isocont curve. The properties of isocont curve. There are three important properties of isocont curve. They slope downward to the right. Isocont does not intersect. They are convex to the origin. What is an isocost curve? An isocost line indicates all possible combinations of two inputs which can be purchased with a given amount of investment fund. Each combination of inputs has same total cost which indicates the cost of two inputs. The following diagram shows the isocost curve. Properties of isocost curve. And total outlay increases, the isocost line moves higher and higher away from the origin. The isocost lines are straight. Slope of isocost line represents the price ratio. So why is the least cost combination important? The least cost combinations are very important for the firms because it involves minimum input, minimum cost but gives you the maximum output. Let us see why it is important. In choosing between the two completing resources, the saving in the resource replace must be greater than the cost of the revenue added. Let us see certain 1 marks related to the determination of least cost combinations. The firm cannot always attain a least cost combination of inputs in the short run because some inputs are fixed. Least cost combination of inputs should be achieved. It must be in case of marginal productivity of labor is equal to the marginal productivity of labor 1 is equal to marginal productivity of n times. Revenue must also be considered when the firm determines the profit maximizing level of output. Dash indicates the all of different important input combinations that will enable a firm to produce a particular level of output. Isocont curve. Dash indicates all the different input combinations that can be utilized for a given level of cost. Isocost curve. Dash are useful to the firm because they help it to determine least cost combinations of input. Isocont and isocost curve. Ridge lines bound the economic region of production, which is that region of production on the isoquant map where the marginal products of both inputs are positive or zero. The maximum expansion path is a line connecting all least cost combinations of inputs for a given input price ratio. The expansion path would likely change if the ratio of input price changed. A total product function applies in the situation in which only one input can vary. Thank you.